20th of April 1933, Adolf Hitler, appointed Chancellor of Germany 4 months before, celebrated his 44th birthday. As was his custom, Hitler emerged from his Bavarian residence, his house Wachenfeld, to greet well-wishers and fans who had gathered near the security gates. This house would be rebuilt 2 years later into the famous Berghof, and security around the property much tightened. But for now, public access to Hitler was much easier. On this day, a little blonde-haired girl noticed by Hitler. Her mother told Hitler that it was also her daughter's 6th birthday, and Hitler, taken with both the coincidence and the child-pleasing features, invited mother and daughter back to his house, where Hitler and the girl were photographed by his photographer Heinrich Hoffmann. So began a strange friendship between the dictator and the little girl that would last until 1938. But it was a relationship that would trouble Hitler's closest advisors, for the girl was in fact of Jewish descent. The girl would often be referred to as the Führer's child, until Hitler was forced to end the friendship. Hitler was often photographed and filmed talking to young children, Eva Braun capturing many such encounters with her home camera. The children were the sons and daughters of high Nazi officials, especially those of Martin Bormann and Joseph Goebbels, or the children of his household staff. But the little girl he befriended on her 6th birthday on the 20th of April 1933 was neither. Born bin Hedina Ninau in 1926. Her father was Dr. Bernhard Ninau, a Dortmund physician, who had died shortly after his daughter's birth, while her mother was Carolina, a nurse. Carolina had moved to Munich in 1928, bringing her mother with her. This is where the story becomes rather strange. Carolina's mother was a retired teacher. She was a Roman Catholic, but had been born Jewish. Under Nazi racial laws that would come into effect in 1935, Judaism was defined as a race rather than a religion. Little Bernila, as she was nicknamed, would have been considered impure because of her grandmother having been born a Jew. The 1935 Nuremberg laws issued complex classification concerning the percentage of Jewishness, and then decide who was a German citizen and who was an outsider. Bernila's grandmother, born a Jew of Jewish parents, would be classified as a Jew and therefore be deprived of German citizenship. The Nazis decided that Jews who had converted were still nonetheless Jewish, because once again it was not about religion, as the Nazis considered Judaism to be a race. Anyone born of Jewish parents was a Jew. And because of that, Bernila and her mother had a lot of serious problems, for under the later Nuremberg race laws, which came into force whilst she was friendly with Hitler, they would also be classified under the Nuremberg laws. Bernila's mother Carolina was classified as mixed race of the 1st degree, that is half Jewish. Under the law from 1935, Carolina only partly belonged to the German race and nation, but could have Reich citizenship. Under this law, Bernila was therefore 1/4 Jewish, that is mixed race to the 2nd degree, and was considered again to be only partly belonged to the German race and nation, but was nonetheless a Reich citizen. The problem was, she may have been legally approved, but for Hitler to be seen in the company of a child that was 1/4 Jewish made alarm bells to ring through Nazi leadership. Despite the legal questions, Hitler and Bernila met every so often throughout the 1930s, and she sent at least 17 letters between 1935 and 1939 to Hitler's chief assistant, SS Gruppenführer Wilhelm Bruckner. Hitler had been informed of his young friend's Jewish ancestry in 1933, but didn't seem concerned. However, once Martin Bormann, Hitler's powerful private secretary, was made aware of the situation, he took steps to cut contact between the two. Heinrich Hoffmann had been now published many official photographs of Hitler and Bernila, which were popular amongst the German public. Bormann informed Bernila's mother that she was to stop bringing the child to the Berghof, as Hitler's house was now called. However, Hoffmann continued to publish images of Hitler and Bernila together. In May 1938, Bernila's mother was officially told to stop any contact with high party officials. Many people have tried to second-guess Why Hitler maintained a relationship with the girl and her mother when he knew that she was 1/4 Jewish and the mother was half Jewish. Many explanations have been put forward, both at the time by Nazis and also by historians later. Bernila's grandmother died in 1942. Bernila's mother survived the conflict and died in 1962. But Bernilas herself did not. She died of spinal polio in a hospital in 1943 at the age of 17.